It's time for the Chicago Bulls to trust their youth movement, and it is also time for the Chicago Bulls to develop some better winning habits and not turn the basketball over as much. We're going to be talking about the keys for tonight's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so the last time the Chicago Bulls faced the Cleveland Cavaliers, we nearly almost won that basketball game, lost to the Cavs 119 to 113. I think that the key takeaway from that game is that the Chicago Bulls turned the basketball over a lot. I believe it was 21 turnovers, which led to 35 points. This is something that you can't do against any team in the NBA, definitely against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are off to a historical start here. And so that is going to be key number one. The Chicago Bulls cannot turn the basketball over a lot tonight. It just cannot happen. So as we move forward, I wanted to take a look at the injury reports. And so the update with the Chicago Bulls is that Lonzo Ball is very close to getting back. He wanted to get back for today's game or Sunday's game. And Billy Donovan is saying it's a possibility, but not very optimistic right now because there's still some hurdles that Lonzo Ball has to clear. He is dribbling the basketball. I think Billy Donovan had stressed that, he's wondering, is he going to be okay catching the basketball and not feeling any pain? Also, throwing the basketball, is that going to be fine? And then defensively, when he's out there with the hand checking, the boxing out, the wrist getting hit, is Lonzo Ball going to be okay? So they want to make sure he clears those barriers before he's back. But it sounds like he is close, and that is certainly going to help the Chicago Bulls bench. And I think that Lonzo Ball will help this team, especially when it comes down to turnovers with that high basketball IQ. He's going to be able to kind of settle us in those closing moments, and maybe at the end of quarters, or depending on when he has to get out there, he might have to start it sometime. Who knows? But I definitely think that Lonzo Ball will help this team. And so next up, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have some injury concerns that, quite frankly, it could maybe swing this game one way or another. And so let's go into what is going on with them, starting with Jarrett Allen. So Jarrett Allen has a lower left leg strain. He is a game time decision. Obviously, a strain is something that is very tricky with that. I mean, it can feel good, and then all of a sudden, you have a reoccurrence of that injury. So Jarrett Allen has been huge for this team. I think that they operate very well with these two bigs. And then next up, Evan Mobley. All right, Evan Mobley has an illness. He is a game time decision. If Evan Mobley is not 100%, if he's not able to go, I think that is going to put a lot more pressure on Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, maybe even Jarrett Allen if he's able to go. And so I think with that added pressure right now, look, they were close against the Philadelphia 76ers. We had them on the ropes as well. And so if a player were to go down or not be themselves today, this certainly would give the Bulls a chance to go ahead and pull this out. And so as we move forward, this is the first game for us in Cup play. You can see the standings right now. Atlanta has a game. The Boston Celtics have lost a game. And with the players to watch, and so I just talked about Evan Mobley. Is he going to be 100%? And just talking about how they have this offense that is constructed where he has a little bit higher of a usage rate. They feel like that is something that is going to unlock Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and really allow them to really focus a little bit more on the clutch and closing down games. So I'm curious to see how this offense continues to click. And then, with that, I want to see, does Jarrett Allen impose his will in the paint? But look, we cannot afford to have what happened to us last game against the Knicks happen in this game. In fact, in the fourth quarter, the Knicks had a 26-8 scoring advantage in the paint in the fourth. And so certainly we cannot allow that to happen in the clutch time, but you don't want to give up a whole bunch of paint points as well, and that's something that the Chicago Bulls have really struggled with. So are we going to be able to eliminate a lot of these paint touches and easy buckets there? Because that also could sway the game for the Chicago Bulls. And so as we look at the Chicago Bulls, some of the key questions that I have with them tonight is, can Zach LaVine continue to be at an all-star level along with Vooch? Because with Zach LaVine, I'm going to start with him. And I'm saying this, Zach LaVine has actually stepped it up defensively. I mean, because he's actually showing his athleticism and how he can affect the defensive end. He's contesting shots at a high level. He's trying to stay in front of his player. And then also, too, if you put Zach LaVine in a switch, he's competing out there. And so I think that is huge for the Chicago Bulls. I want to see, does he continue to impact the game that way and help the Chicago Bulls, not just on the offensive end, but defensively like this. And then offensively with LaVine, I am loving everything that he's doing. The turnaround jump shots, the three-point shots, getting to the basket. Look, if you had questions about his athleticism or the injuries, I think that all that has to just go out of the window because Zach LaVine is absolutely back. And so I want to see some more of that. With Vooch, I love how he is commanding attention in the paint, and I love how he is not settling for the jump shot. He is making teams pay. And I've talked about how it is great for us because we don't just have to jack up three-point shots. We can go down to Vooch. He is a excellent source of offense here, and you can cut off him and get some easy baskets. So we certainly need that tonight. Next up, I think it is going to be interesting to see what happens with Josh Giddy, because if we get into the clutch, is Josh Giddy going to have the chance to close down the game? Remember, I talked about how he showed his playmaking ability by making the right decision to get it over to Kobe White, in which he got fouled. That ultimately led to the 3 free throws where we won that game. And so, I definitely think his decision making is going to be critical. He's got to eliminate the turnovers and things like that. And he is shooting the basketball better. And so I want to see that continue with him. And also, he's got to really compete on the defensive end. I know that that's something that is an issue and may continue to be an issue. But the last game out there, the Cleveland Cavaliers were looking for him in those pick and rolls. He's already seen what this offense is going to do. Let's see if he can go out there and compete a little bit more on the defensive end and help us there. With Ayo Dosunmu, I want to see, does he continue to keep rising? Because Ayo is getting it done. He's closing down the games. And I think that he has shown that he is just our best defender on the floor. Like, he can go 1 to 5. He's going to make it tough on you. I don't care if it's a center. I've seen him get blocks against Clint Capella. I've seen him get blocks against bigger players. I've seen him fight in the post, get over screens. He's the best defender that you have on all 3 levels. He can play you on the ball. He can play you off the ball. He's terrific at help defense. And so he's everything that we need defensively. And with Patrick Williams, look, Patrick Williams looked great in this last game. I don't know what he did going into that New York game, but I hope he does that again in this game. In fact, 11 of his 22 points came in the first half last game, and he didn't fall off. Like, he made an appearance in the second half, so much of an appearance that Billy Donovan joked about calling a timeout because that tip jam was emphatic. And that's what we want to see from Patrick Williams. Look, if you don't think you believe in your skill level, you have the athleticism to do this on a night-to-night basis. So I hope that Patrick Williams has seen this. You're back from the foot injury. He talked about being comfortable, being out there and playing. It's time for Patrick Williams now to really lock in and be consistent and be that player that the Chicago Bulls need, as they have invested this 5 years into him, and he's going to be huge, for their youth movement. And lastly, with our bench, I loved what Billy Donovan did in playing Matas Buzelis. I absolutely loved that. Matas Buzelis responded with 3 blocks. He was taking 3-point shots. He's out there cutting. He's getting dunks. And he looks super engaged. I don't worry about his confidence out there. I think that is going to be there. But Billy Donovan has got to trust these guys. And that means that if you have to lean into Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Matas Buzelis in the clutch, then you do so. Because even in a losing effort, we need to get all the experience out there for these players. And this team is not where it needs to be. And it's still needing to build itself out. But the only way you can evaluate to see if this player is going to fit with your system and where you're going is you've got to put them out there. You've got to get them experience. It cannot be a G League situation necessarily. You got to get them out there and let them go against some of these all-stars like Donovan Mitchell. Let them go against the size like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. The only way you're going to see how they're going to respond line here. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking about these Chicago Bulls. What is the key takeaway for you going into this game? Can they pull it out? Because I think that they can absolutely pull off the upset tonight. I think that as long as they cut down the turnovers, continue to just make clutch plays, which this team has actually been really good in the clutch. I cannot believe I'm saying that as well. Like, without DeMar DeRozan out there, they've been really good in the clutch. It doesn't surprise me because you still have Kobe White out there. He's proven to be a clutch player. Ayo Dosunmu, he's definitely a clutch player. I mean, both of those players are with all the smoke, so I love that. And so I just hope that this team can continue to build off that and have that identity. So just want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing. It means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our small goal of 5,000 subscribers before the NBA season ends. I wanted to let you know that tonight, I think we might be doing a live post game for the first time here. So I want to see how you guys would enjoy the live post game. I'm going to put that in the community tab, so make sure you vote on that. But I believe we are going to be set for a live post game. If not, we're going to do a video as usual. So anyhow, I'll see you on the post game. One way or the other, make sure that you mash that subscribe button. It's only 64.2% of you are subscribed. And look, I know we still have a lot of questions about these Chicago Bulls, and we still need to see, what direction we want to go in. I'm still saying go Bulls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.